Well, hello there. This is a special week. This is the week leading up to Valentine's Day. Now, isn't that pretty cool? So, you see my sweater? I've got a nice big heart, and I've got hearts all over my sweater. And you know what? We're going to be talking about that topic. Yes. So, I'm just going to wait for some people to come on. This has been a really interesting year for me, and I'm just so excited to share with you the things that I have been learning all along the way that I've impacted in my life and now are impacting my clients' lives. And this is just things that people just don't think about. And I've had to learn them the hard way. But let me tell you, it's been a wonderful journey. And what I'm going to be talking about today is healthy relationship characteristics. Now, last week I spoke about some of the characteristics or some of the signs of unhealthy relationships. So if you didn't see that, go to the video section in the Facebook group, the Love is Kind Facebook group. Make sure it's the group. I don't do it yet in the page, but you could do it in the group. And listen to it. You can go to my website, theloveiskindnetwork.com, theloveiskindnetwork.com, and you can see the blogs that I've been writing about this topic. In the last few weeks, I've written about one of the key mistakes women make when looking for a relationship. Then last week I talked about unhealthy relationship characteristics, because if you're not aware of these things, you just may think they're normal, that it's okay that someone treats you a certain way, that's just the way it is. Maybe it was the way you brought up, so you don't realize that really wasn't a healthy way. Many people were not brought up in healthy, good example households. And in some cases, people were in wonderful relationship, had a wonderful family life, and they were wondering, how did I get myself into an abusive, narcissistic relationship? And so you're trashing yourself and wondering, oh my God, what did I do wrong? So let's just clear the table here and say, you did not do anything wrong. Something else may have happened, something else may have triggered it that you weren't aware of. There may be, when we're children, we don't know how to assess a relationship, right? We just think it is. Only when we become adults and thinking adults and knowing adults, knowing what the pros and cons are of a healthy relationship, before we can assess our parents, how they brought us up. And this is not to diss the parents. Some parents may have been outright cruel. Some parents were just doing the best they could. But it is what it is, right? And our job is not to spend our time blaming others, because have you noticed that doesn't really get you anywhere? It leaves you disempowered because you can't change anybody. So my goal here is to give you the signs so you know what to look for. I am about helping you move forward in your life instead of keep looking back. Why was it that way? Why was it that way? If you want that, go to a therapist to help you clear out some of these issues that you're having. And these are not insignificant if you're unable to really break through and out of the blame. You're still stuck in blame. This is not a healthy way to be, okay? So I want to just share with you that in a healthy relationship, you feel, okay? I want you to focus on this. You feel respected. You feel it the time, okay? In a healthy relationship, you never should feel that you have to sacrifice yourself. Hi there, Corrine, glad to have you here. So you, in a healthy relationship, you don't ever have to sacrifice yourself. You don't have to sacrifice seeing your family, seeing your friends, your work, your goals. None of that happens in a healthy relationship. Okay? So I want to go over some of the other characteristics, because what you want to do is in anything, whether it's an unhealthy characteristics, remember to go back and look at that video from last week, or healthy characteristics, you got to know what you want, right? What do I want in a relationship? Maybe you're looking for a relationship. Well, these are some of the key things that you should be looking for and expecting, and then receiving, fully experiencing these healthy characteristic relationships. Okay. So you want to look for behaviors. Sometimes the behavior doesn't show up right away. It may take a little bit of time, but look beyond. Don't have an attitude where you have to be on guard, but just be aware. Being aware. If you're living your life, just life is happening to you and you have no say, it's just like you're just bobbing along and that's what's happening. So you just kind of, just like a little rock tumbling in a little brook. It just kind of rolls along with the rock river or the stream that's pushing it along. No, this is your life. You have a say in what it is, but if you are unaware of what's happening around you and think you have no choice, then it's time to wake you up and say, yeah, you can have a respectful, loving, kind relationship when you know what to look for and when you know the steps to empower yourself to expect it and to receive it, because it's all up to you. It's not up to the guy. Yeah, it's not finding the right guy. It's finding the right you. Okay, so I'm just looking at my list here. My list. Too often we accept unacceptable behaviors, not necessarily knowingly, sometimes knowingly, because we think we don't deserve better, or we can't get better, or we'll never get better, or this is my last chance in life, so you just give in. And that feeling, so if you have a feeling, well, I'm just going to give in, there's nobody better out there, that is a warning sign. Okay? That's a warning sign for you. Not for the other guy, not for the guy. It's for you. That's the warning sign for you. So I want you to keep tapping into, how do you feel? So did I say I'm Rosie Aiello, and I am the founder of the Love is Kind Network, and I am on a mission to help women start to believe in themselves and to believe that they deserve to be treated with kindness. And it starts by being kind to yourself. And this is what I'm going to be going over, is how you can be kind to yourself by expecting these things in a relationship. And if you know others who are looking for love, who are looking for kind love, then pass them my way, because we are meant to be connected. That's the human nature. We're meant to be connected. And a lot of women will, after they've been hurt for so many times, it's like, yeah, I'm just running off all men are bad. I can live by myself for the rest of my life, which is true. You can. That's not how we're meant to live, because you haven't discovered how it's possible for you. So I have a long list. I'm not going to go over the entire list. The time doesn't allow for that. But you can get this list by going to my blog. Go to the loveiskindnetwork.com. Go to the blogs and you can see it there. So these are not in any particular order, but these are just some of characteristics of really healthy relationships. Hi, there's my dear Holly. Hi there. So they apologize and change their behavior or actions to reflect taking responsibility. I think this is probably one of the biggest ones, because on the flip side, narcissistic men, abusive men don't take responsibility. But you will see in a healthy relationship, they reflect on their actions, and they take responsibility for what they did. They will say, I'm sorry. They will change their behavior. They will attempt to change their behavior even though they may feel bad. But that's their intent, and you can tell that. So look for that. Look for that and expect it. If you don't expect these kinds of behaviors from the other person, you may not receive it. And this is part of when I'm teaching, part of the course, when I'm teaching setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is about teaching others how you want to be treated. And here is a perfect example of that. Okay, they express anger. Everyone gets angry. So let's not get into the thought that, there's, my relationship is only perfect if they're never angry or they're never angry at me. Remember, anger is a normal emotion. Fear is a normal emotion. Love is a normal emotion. And we have them all. And if you expect to live in this bliss-like relationship where it's just all lovey-dovey every single moment, mine's kind of like that, but it's not realistic. We have these emotions, and they may have anger and may not even be directed at you, but you may see their anger and you may get charged by it. But if it's directed at you for whatever reason, in a loving relationship, it's not yelling and screaming and blaming and demeaning you and, for heaven's, hitting you. They don't do that in a healthy relationship. Okay? They don't do that in a healthy relationship. They will get angry by expressing what is bothering them. So you have to go in, once again, with these expectations. Okay, this is another key one. And I have the flip side in unhealthy characteristics. And I want to say it here. Because again, I want you to understand these characteristics so you know what to expect and what to demand in a relationship by setting your healthy boundaries. Okay, so their behavior doesn't warrant you making excuses for it. When I was married, I was constantly making excuses, not only to myself. Oh, well, everybody gets angry, right? Just the one I told you about. Everyone gets angry. It's normal. But it's not normal the way he got angry. Right? That's not normal. But I was making an excuse for that. When he would flip out, I would make an excuse with all of his family members, why he was behaving that way. I was making excuses to our daughter, oh, well, Papa, he's upset, just go apologize to him and he'll calm down. Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. Okay. This is another key element. Each partner trusts they can be vulnerable with each other without fear of backlash or reprisal. This is a really key one. Now, if you are in a new relationship, I encourage you not to share too much too soon. This is a habit I think a lot of women get into. Oh, I really want to get to know you. Women like to share a lot, but you don't know that person yet. So in my case, I met my former husband, when I was in college. So he knew me back then. And literally 30 years later, he would be dragging up stuff that I did when I was like 19 and 20, that I was not even doing, but he would just drag it up and use it against me. So in healthy relationships, you can be vulnerable and they're not going to use it. Because this is a sign of a healthy relationship, is that you can share. You can share your most intimate thoughts and know that they're going to hold space for you. In an unhealthy relationship, they will use it against you. So this leads to the next one, is that when in an argument or a conflict, they stay in the present. They don't dredge up all your past regressions, all your past, every bad thing you did, whether it's related to what the issue is or not. They don't do that in a healthy relationship. They stay in the present. You spilled the milk. Okay, you spilled the milk. That's it. You spilled the milk now. It's not because you spilled the milk, 10 years ago. You spilled the milk today. Focus, they stay and focus in the present. Be aware of this, and again, expect this in your relationship. Now, if you're not having these in the relationship, then you need to find the steps how you can get that, and reach out to me if that's the case. If you're dating, especially in the early stages of dating, you get to set the pace for how fast you want the relationship to go. You determine that. So if the pace is going too fast and they're arguing with you, I just love you so much and I just enjoy your company so much, but you're not feeling that, you're feeling it's just too much too fast, then this is something that you need to be aware of. In a healthy relationship, even in the beginning, they will not rush it. And they will respect you if you say, you know what, I just want to take this a little bit slower. I enjoy my company, I enjoy your company, I like being with you, but I need a little bit more space, because maybe you're just learning and you wanted to have time to absorb their behavior, to reflect on it, to see how much you're feeling about it. When you're caught up in it and you're going on and on and on, then it's like it's too much and you don't know how to process. So remember, you get to dictate. If you can't dictate, then that's a warning sign. It's not a sign of a healthy relationship. Okay, a few more here. This is a really good one. In a relationship, in a healthy relationship, you're playful with each other. And that includes playfully teasing each other. So if you both playfully tease each other and you're both enjoying it, that's a sign of a healthy relationship. When you're being teased and you're not feeling good about it, that's not a good sign. Know the difference. There can be teasing in both situations. One is healthy and one isn't. And you are the dictator. You're the one who determines that. You dictate whether it's healthy or not. If their teasing is making you feel diminished or crummy or lousy, and you ask them, that's not the kind of teasing I like, and they stop it, that's a healthy relationship. If they don't stop it and they make excuses and they tell you you're too sensitive, that's a not healthy relationship characteristic. And some action on your part needs to be done. Okay? Okay. There's a long list here, and these are really good. There's no testing in a healthy relationship. You don't have to prove yourself. So in my former relationship, it was always like I had to do something to prove that I loved him, to show him. And so it was like he had this checklist, whatever that checklist was, because it was constantly changing. That's the whole part of gaslighting and sociopathic behaviors of no empathy of what you're doing. So I had to keep proving, like I would fold his shirts just the way he wanted, and then he would, out of the blue, could have been a week later, could have been a month later, could have been 3 months later, he would just throw them on the floor and say, that's not how I want them done. Oh, Rosie, if you only did them this way, our relationship would be so much better. No, and no. You don't have to prove yourself in a healthy relationship. They love you for who you are being. You're being. And that took a long time for me to learn. My being? Like, what's that? I only know my doing. I didn't know my being. It's like, you mean you just like me because of me? It was weird. I gotta tell you, it was weird. But now this is now that I know it, now that I'm experiencing it, it's just like, well, yeah, right? How exhausting is it to have to constantly prove yourself? They love you for who you are. And this gets back to what I was saying, that you don't have to sacrifice yourself, your true self. You get to be in a healthy relationship, you get to be your true, authentic self. You don't have to put on airs. Can you imagine how exhausting that is? I do, because I lived it for 25 years. I was wiped out. But when you're just being, it's like, wow, it's so relaxing. It's so enjoyable. It's so peaceful. I can receive the love. I can give the love freely. These are signs of a healthy relationship. So if you are not in a relationship yet, then expect this as you go on your search. If you're just in the dating process, then you get to dictate how fast it goes and what to expect. If you're in a relationship, are you experiencing these or not? And if you are, bless you and bless your partner for being able to experience this kind of pure, unconditional, respectful, kind love. Because real love is kind. It's not cruel, it's caring. It's not threatening, it's uplifting. That's what real love is like. And that is the kind of love you deserve. And that's the kind of love you can have when you know the right steps, when you know to expect, and how to move forward in it. Okay. I just want to wind down here. So many good things here. You just listen to last week's video on unhealthy characteristics. Listen to this video again on healthy characteristics. This is a little bit in reference to what I told you before about teasing. Their jokes are not demeaning. And if they are demeaning, they apologize and they don't do demeaning jokes anymore. But it's up to you to set that boundary, right? It's up to you. You are in charge of you. No one else is in charge of you. You are in charge of you, but you got to learn how to be in charge of you. Because sometimes you don't know what it is, what you need to be in charge of. You don't know what to expect, what you're deserving. And we don't have those tools. And sometimes this mind just starts pulling you down and going you in the wrong direction when you want to go in another direction. Your mind will often take you to what you know, but what you know doesn't necessarily mean what is good for you today. And I think one of the key things too in a very healthy relationships is that you resolve conflicts together. It's knowing that you're going to get through it together. You talk about it together. You figure it out. You go back and forth. And how are we going to figure this out together? This is so key. When I was married to my former husband, he would constantly demean me with, "You're not a team player." And he would sit me down sometimes and I literally yell at me from anywhere from an hour to hours, telling me how bad I was. And if only you did this, it would be better. That's not resolving a conflict. That's being a dictator. We don't need dictators in our lives. We deserve to be treated with kindness. We deserve to be able to express our full self and not hide any part of us. And when you keep hiding and making excuses, you're hiding a part of you. This is your life, your precious life. You don't want to live it not being you. This is your chance to say, There are wonderful men out there, wonderful, kind men. I happen to have found a fabulous guy. When, if you asked me 10 years ago, I couldn't even look at a man. So if you are looking, but afraid, looking but still afraid because you don't know, then reach out to me. You deserve this, and we can get you there. And it's all about you. This is Rosie Aiello with the Love is Kind Network. Go there to look at the blogs, to get the checklists. Tell your friends about this. They may be aching. This is around the corner from Valentine's Day. Everyone thinks, oh, I should have a date. I don't have a date, and all this wrapped up. You know, for those who are in great relationships, you know, more power to you. But for those of you who are still searching or just afraid or have just written it off, I ask you to open your mind to reconsider. Because when you are in a kind relationship, your world opens up so much more. Your heart opens up so much more. You love more. You give more. Sending all my love to you. And remember, you deserve to be treated with kindness, and it starts by being kind to yourself. Write down your thoughts, your ideas below in the Facebook group. I love hearing from you. Take care and have a fabulous week.